Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine. I'm here with Andrea Cruz, the CEO of Viva Cruises. We've spoken with her before. Now we're going to get an update. I want to talk about how Viva is rapidly growing, both in the number of ships and the guests. We're going to hear about that, as well as the value proposition, travel advisor incentives, and a new level of cruising with Viva Boutique. All that and more here on Insider Travel Report. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for actually having me, and thank you for being on board.
For hosting us.
Beautiful Viva Enjoy.
Yes, so what I wanted to do is let's talk about a little bit. First of all, is this 7 years now for Viva?
Yeah, wow, yeah, amazing. 7 years actually when we founded Viva in 2018. Yes, right.
And so now how many ships?
Currently 8 dedicated ships, growing. Which is absolutely amazing.
And so, and this was interesting. When we were together last, we were on Viva 2. And then I was reading, and there was Viva 3. This is Viva 3, isn't it?
In a way, yeah, but not. You know, the thing is, I didn't like the 3. I mean, in no language. It doesn't
like a movie title.
No, it doesn't sound nice.
Right.
So basically, then I thought, you know where? Take our claim. I mean, enjoy the moment. We have already one ship which is called Viva Moments, right. And then I thought, enjoy is a beautiful name, so why not taking that, which is, you know, we already have it.
Right. So let's talk about the whole product, the ship, and because we're going to talk about Viva Boutique in a moment. So what are the differences between Enjoy and Viva 2?
Well, I mean, basically, more or less, you can say they're sister ships because, in a way, they're identical. So 190 packs, basically, you know, cabin structure with, you know, the 3 restaurants. So we have the main restaurant, beautiful Viva Bistro, we're currently at. And then our Moments, which is actually doing Bella Italia. So basically, it's more or less the same. The only thing is if you look around the colors a little bit with the design, but of course you can see immediately the Viva design. But you know, every ship always has a different color or a different color, let's say, add-on, because as we all know, our main color is blue. So we always find the blue in every Viva ship. But also what we have here, speaking about sustainability, you know, the solar panels and also our water stations and
then cabin types, still 2?
Yes, we have the, how we call it, the regular 2-berth staterooms, and then of course we have the suites, 8 suites.
I'm going to show them. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they're 24 square meters. Of course, a beautiful bath with the rain shower. I mean, rain shower, actually, we have it in every cabin, which you also, I think, experienced this morning.
Yeah, it's a little, I like to think of it as an adult water park.
Yeah, because I call it, you only have to push the button in the shower pretty easily.
Really,
so that
no instruction book needed.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Yeah, and then, of course, you know, also with the design, with the sofas, it's, you know, a little bit more, how I call it, into art direction, more clean, but still, I mean, due to the wood elements, it has something very warm.
Suddenly, I didn't realize this, and then this morning I was like, there are no steps in this room. I don't have to step up to the bathroom or the shower.
No, everything is actually on the same floor, and that actually is also covered in every single cabin. Doesn't matter in which one you are, on which deck. So, you know, that is also something what we said with Viva. We want to have more or less everything for every passenger equal. The only difference is basically where your cabin is based. So whether it's deck 1, 2, or 3, or if you choose between a regular stateroom and a suite. But if it comes to dining, to the all-inclusive, this is all the same because I want that the guest has the same experience.
Still on the rooms, you've maximized space because our balconies are our sitting rooms with a big floor-to-ceiling window.
Absolutely, and this is also actually something what we have done within the suites. So the suites also, they don't have a balcony, but they have like those massively huge windows and basically also an extra window, which is brilliant because, as you said, you have basically all in one. And if you want to have, you know, the pure, let's say, outside, grab your coffee in the morning. I think maybe you did this morning. We had this beautiful sunrise and just go on the sun deck.
Your bathroom is designed so well that when you leave the doors open to the shower, you have more bathroom space.
These are little things what we've done, and I have to say, I mean, we are very good, and also our in-house designer, how I always call him, he is doing a tremendous great job on that one.
So going from accommodations, now you've been itching to talk about public spaces and the restaurants. So you said we had 3 restaurants and the lounge areas, and I love the split level with the bar.
Yeah, I think that is also something, as I said, we only have 135 meters, the ship, long. So, and for me, it's still impressing actually what we managed and how we managed that. And also, in a way, having this separate bar area than the lounge area. It's also, I think, for the guest, if you want to read a book or whatever, you want to relax, you actually enter the lounge. It's your area. If you want to have a drink at the bar to chat, this is also, it's in a way separate, but it's not separate. And I think that is just a beautiful design and concept.
Well, part of the reason it's so relaxing, and I've been noticing this more and more on ships, is sight lines and flow. You have both.
Yes, we do have both, and this is also personally for me and also for our guests that is very important and actually also part of our DNA.
Let's talk about the wellness facilities, because that's changed but from this to the last ship, right?
A little bit, yes. We do have, we have the fitness, and then we have also the treatment room for massage, but we also have an extra room for yoga, or actually if you want to have, sometimes we have private coaches on board, also for especially, how to treat yourself healthier. So, as I said, a river cruise ship, you don't have plenty of space, but I think we took everything what we could take and made everything possible. And I think also in those days what we notice, especially for our guests, this wellness and what you just said, also speaking about yoga and things like that. It's something what people like. And then also, food-wise, they always have a choice here also of healthy food. So I think it's a very brilliant combination.
But also, when we're talking about value proposition, this is an all-inclusive product.
Yeah, basically everything. It's always, I really want to repeat that because what we just framed, all of that is included. So there is no extra invoice or someone is running after you and tells you, please sign. That won't happen with us. Mm-hmm. So we said it's a very relaxing, calming way of cruising.
So what's great about that is you're competitively priced.
Absolutely, and that is not a secret, and that is also very important actually for us.
Guests get a lot for their money. Let's go over some of that.
Yeah, it's some kind of a checklist what we have to run through now. It's one excursion actually per port. Then, as you know, here on board of Viva Enjoy we have 3 restaurants. So every single dining, whether lunch or dinner, it's all included, including wine pairing. So recommendation by the chef for every single course you have. So, and then looking into the cabin staterooms, tea and coffee making facilities, minibar, daily refill. We have the sustainable water bottles actually, because we have the water stations, right. So it's all there.
Wait. Some of the best cappuccino machines I've actually used. The froth is unbelievable on the milk.
Yeah, I'm happy that you like it because I normally only drink.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them actually. So wherever you go, never without a coffee, which is brilliant, and a cookie, homemade cookie. Don't forget that one.
No. Value. We're talking value here. Okay, and then the other thing that I think you should be proud of is you've always maintained that sustainability should be upheld. And I remember on Viva 2, there were I was looking and there were light, solar cells all around, but I almost didn't notice them because they fit into the ship.
Yeah. They're beautiful implemented on the sun deck. We have them here on Viva Enjoy as well, of course. And besides having the solar panels, we also made a decision for Viva Cruises also starting next year in 27. So all Viva ships will be run by HVO biofuel. Actually, and I'm pretty happy because all of our guests and partners, when we introduce that, they actually support us on that one. Because eventually also, let's face it, it has a price tag. but I think it's very important that we are also taking care of our environment. And for me, it's also very important sharing this with guests and partners, because it's also something, the decision we made, and we shouldn't hide that.
Now, big drum roll, because you get all of that and more as they expand to their next ship, Beyond, Viva Beyond, and Viva Boutique. Let's tell our travel advisors what this is and why they should be so excited.
Yeah, because I'm totally excited, because it's my personal, how can I call it, love project, actually. We launched it
As
last
if Viva wasn't.
Yeah, anyway, but there's always something, you need new challenges, let's say. And this is what we are facing. Yeah, well, we launched it last year in September. Basically, it's a new exclusive line within the Viva brand. This is also why we called it Viva Boutique. I think the charming part, and really what is totally different compared to all the other Viva ships, 50% of the capacity will be suites. Speaking about master suites, 30 square meters, walking-in closet, our regular suites. And of course, you said it also, we have already a lot what is included, especially if it comes, to the culinary side, because I think we are excellent.
You've already got that down, so now you move that to the boutique.
Yes, and of course that will be actually a step more. So we are hitting there, and the charming thing is, and that was also our decision, the ship will be positioned in France on the beautiful Seine River. So looking into that area, what can be done better than culinary? Talking about, external high-end chefs, little chateaus. And, at the end, it's not always about very high-end. It's also about seasonal, local food. Walking with the chef, through the market, picking maybe your oysters for lunchtime with a beautiful glass of champagne. It also should actually have a relaxed atmosphere, because I don't want that people are maybe afraid of booking it, because it's also something you should enjoy.
Let's say a little more specific. So these master suites and suites have extra perks and privileges that is not on this ship. It has an expanded spa, right?
Yes. The charming thing is we are also talking about something very individual, because the ship themselves is only 110 meters long, so also a bit smaller than Viva Enjoy, for instance. Only 112 guests. So it's like you're cruising with your friends more.
And you've invested in entertainment.
Yes, actually, we invested in entertainment, and also looking into that one, we actually do everything on local level. So if it comes to food, to entertainment, because I think France, you have so many beautiful options on that.
And then what was interesting, and let's start to tell them, you've got trips that are designed, and you brought up Paris, so you got the maiden voyage there, but I'm going to give you three titles. In the Footsteps of Impressionism,
yes.
What does that make you think of? Culinary Delights of Normandy, and Pure Culture Along the Seine. This is the product you're now presenting.
Yes, when we started that, because it's also something a little bit more unique, let's say, and we really want to focus also more on the land side, so what actually you can experience ashore. So, and that is very important, that you also frame it in terms of themes. Of course, also related to actually the history, what is already there, what you can find, but also in a way on seasonal things, especially if you speak about culinary, because from the culinary side, May is different than, for instance, September. And this is also what we want to grab. So the thing is actually, if people maybe decide, or guests decide to travel with us twice, they can do so, because they always will experience something different. And I think in those days, it's so important actually to use what we already have. So speaking about local things, speaking about seasonal things in every little sense. So whether, you're here, now we're in the Netherlands, so looking at the tulips, but then in October in France there's a truffle time. So what I'm saying, it's so easy because it's there. So and we just need to grab it.
We're going to, I teased you guys saying that we're going to talk about travel advisor incentives and things like that, but we really should save that for the Vice President of Sales, North America, Canada, and South America, John Dennis. So stay tuned for that interview. Basically, we have the CEO here, so we're going, top level. What else do you want the travel advisors to know? We're going out to 128,000 now. and how should they sell it, and to what? Who's the guest?
Well, our guest, it's a good question actually, because I think you notice this also. We are a international product, and I think that is the charming part. We have a different audience on board in terms of maybe your next door neighbor at dinner is someone from Norway or someone from Spain. I think the charming part is if you have guests actually, which eventually, I mean, when they travel, they love Europe, but with Viva, they have Europe already on board. And I think that is the charming part. So it's more like if you are open, if you love to travel, especially what I say, if you love to experience. And if you just like to enjoy, because I think we really created a product which gives you this moment of enjoying. And I think that is our customer.
Congratulations. I think you've done that. Now let's just tell them where they can go for some more information. What URL should they use?
Viva-cruises.com.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, and thank you for actually listening. See you soon.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.